Michael. It is so lovely to see you again, Michael. Every day I wake up in a cold sweat, wondering if I'm ever going to see you again. But luckily, here you are, patiently waiting. I'm so sorry that you're still tied up and gagged. These brutes have no sense of decorum at all. Hey, could we do something about this? Could my good friend here be freed from his chains?
No, of course not. You know why we have to keep him like that.
Were you rambling on about that incident again? It was such a long time ago. Even I've forgotten about it.
It was 2 months ago.
2 months? 2 eons, more like, but whatever. If you can't let it go, I understand. I'm sorry, Michael. They are oh so stuck in their ways. But I will get to hear your voice oh so soon. I promise. Anyway, today's lecture is on SCP-004, also known as the 12 Rusty Keys and the Door. So sit back, relax, and don't interrupt me. Item number SCP-004. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. When handling items SCP-004-2 through -13, proper procedure is vital. The items are not permitted to be moved off-site unless accompanied by 2 Level 4 security personnel. Under no circumstances should any other component of SCP-004 be taken through -1. The effects of doing so are, as yet, unknown, and the current cost of experimentation makes further research impractical. Should any of the objects contained within -1 breach containment, or the facility be breached, the keys must be brought inside and the door closed prior to activation of Site-62's on-site warhead. Unauthorized removal of the keys from the testing area is grounds for immediate termination. Level 1 clearance is required for basic access to -1, and Level 4 clearance is required for use of -2 to -13. Description: SCP-004 consists of an old wooden barn door, -1, and a set of 12 rusted steel keys, -2 through -13. The door itself is the entrance to an abandoned factory in chronological history. The 7th of the 2nd, 1949. A group of 3 juveniles trespassing on federal property near find the door. According to their testimony, they found a set of rusted keys in an iron lockbox and determined what door the keys unlocked. The juveniles are taken into custody after they contact Sheriff when one of their friends, Case 01, goes missing. 7th of the 3rd, 1949. Local authorities find the severed right hand of Case 01 8 kilometers from -1. Other parts of Case 01's body are found scattered as far as 32 kilometers from the factory. Under interrogation, the apprehended juveniles tell authorities that upon opening the door with one of the keys, Case 1 was torn into several pieces, each of which disappeared. At this point, the SCP Foundation takes over investigation. 7th of the 4th, 1949. SCP Agent obtains the keys from the local authorities to begin testing. Test shows that -2 through -13 all fit into a single lock on the large barred door. 12 Class D personnel are assigned to test the effects of the door. Of the 12 test subjects, each trying a different key to enter the room, only 2 survive. Opening the door with any key except -7 or -12 caused the test subjects to be torn apart in multiple directions. However, no dismembered parts were found until later. At the time of writing, only 2 parts of each subject have been recovered, with the exception of the subject using dash, whose pieces were scattered in close proximity. The others have, for all intents and purposes, vanished from existence. Of the 2 surviving subjects, only one, having used -7, returned unharmed. The other came back in a near catatonic state, able to remove himself from the room and then collapse on the floor, and had to be restrained to prevent him from gouging out his eyes. See Appendix A, Mental Health Effects of 004. The subject using -7 said that he had entered a large room, impossibly big for the size of the attached building. After his exit, -1 was propped open, and an armed squad of Level 3 personnel entered. The size of the room is impossible to measure, and the door frame and the individuals in the room are the only part of the room that can be felt or illuminated. 7th of the 16th, 1949. Juvenile suspects and sheriff are terminated. 8th of the 2nd, 1949. Is declared a hazardous area due to unexploded ordnance, and fences erected in order to prevent civilian ingress. Tests to determine safety of exposure to environment behind -1 begin. 12th of the 1st, 1950. Space-time anomalies resulting from the exposure to 004 are confirmed. Testing is suspended. For remains of one of the 12 original test subjects appear in similar manner to those of Case 1. The remains have been designated Case 2. Records suggest that both Case 1 and Case 2 used -3rd of the 21st, 1999. With the massive proliferation of nuclear weapons and World War III only years away, construction has begun on a site inside -1. The site is to stock supplies for months and days. 4th of the 21st, 1999. Has ordered the site inside -1 to be expanded to include emergency storage for all mobile SCP specimens and a petabyte database for the storage of all SCP data. The facility is now referred to as Site 62. 9th of the 25th, 2000. Site 62 is operational. Labs and containment units are complete and can contain the most dangerous specimens. Backup of the SCP database has begun. 1st of the 25th, 2001. Due to time anomalies, see space-time anomalies below, all personnel working on Site 62 are now required to reside on site permanently. Families of personnel are to be informed that loved ones perished in an industrial accident. Cloned bodies have been prepared for funerals. 8th of the 14th, 2003. Massive power outage across northeast United States and through Canada. Due to the initial failure of multiple SCP generators, Site 62 was without power for 53 minutes. During those 53 minutes, Those on site were completely without any source of light. They reported sensing creatures and people, although no abnormal entities could be seen or felt. Selected facility personnel were allowed to read Appendix A and said the creatures sensed were of humanoid size, but otherwise similar to the massive green creature described. Space-time anomalies. SCP-004 seems to propagate spatio-temporal anomalies. Personnel leaving the facility reported losing time. Those who have been in the site for weeks insist that they have only been in the facility for several days, and records of work completed and supplies consumed support their claims. Other temporal anomalies involve -2 through -13, especially the reappearance of K01 and K02 exactly years after using 004- has been assigned to investigate all aspects of these time anomalies. Spatial anomalies include the impossibly large dimensions of the area opened by -7. Similarly, the 2003 blackout incident suggests that there exists an alternate plane of existence within the same space that Site-62 occupies. Additional notes. Testing on 004 reveals that 10 of the keys open -1 on a dimension where the laws of physics and topology are significantly different to those of our home dimension. Test subjects meeting these hostile conditions are torn apart, their bodies deposited in various locations, only 3 of which have been verified to be on Earth. Material deposited at 2 of these points appears immediately. Material deposited at the 3rd appears exactly years into the future. The other 7 locations are currently unknown. Current testing focuses on 2 avenues of research. The first is finding ways to survive 004's hostile topologies. The second suggests that -2 through -13 may open doors other than -1. Appendix A. Mental health effects of -12. All Class D personnel using -12 return in a catatonic state, unable to speak. Some may have enough energy left to try claw out their eyes. Of the 16 subjects, only 4 have survived. Only 1 has regained speech following long-term psychotherapy. He was able to tell the psychiatrist that he saw a massive green creature, so large that much of its body extended beyond his field of view. He reported innate fear and sudden recognition, as if it was something buried deep in his primal fears, and forced implantation of incomprehensible memories. Subject displays acute anterograde and retrograde amnesia. Appendix B. Additional information. Item number SCP-004-14. Date of discovery 9th of the 2nd, 1950. Origin of object. Object was discovered elsewhere in factory area in the previously undiscovered manager's office. Description. Object appears as a large, unvarnished wooden box. The box may be unlocked by the safe key, -7, as well as 5 of the unsafe keys. Upon unlocking -14 with -7, the box opens automatically on its hinges. The volume of the space inside is precisely 5 times greater than the outer dimensions imply. Items placed within these while the lid remains open do not affect the weight or any other properties of the box. When the lid is closed and locked, however, all items inside vanish irretrievably. Personnel locked inside the box are also irretrievable, although losing personnel in this fashion appears to affect significantly the dreams experienced by... So there we have it, Michael. The Foundation owns a factory that is incomprehensibly large, and a box that can make things vanish. Huh. I wonder if you or I or anybody pushes their buttons a little too hard. Do you think they stuffed them inside the box? Anyway, don't get yourself worked up about that, my friend. These idiots don't really know what they're dealing with.
We can hear you, you know.
Oh, I know. Anyway, thank you so much, Michael, for being your lovely, quiet, non-interrupting self once again. And I'll see you next time for SCP-005, also known as the Skeleton Key.
Session terminated. 1600 hours and 53 minutes.